What is up, all you beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing amazing. Knife fam, I appreciate y'all for joining me. So today we've got another first impressions video, and we're just going to go through this. So this was a very recent acquisition from my Secret Santa. So this is my first impressions video of that. So far, I can go ahead and spoiler alert. I freaking like it. So it's my first Sitivien, so I'll go through kind of some information on it. So this is their boxing, which I think is what helps them keep in the price bracket that they are in. So it's real simple, cardboard box, a little UPC code on the back. And inside your cardboard, you have just your bag that it comes in, and then a simple, small little cloth. So we'll go ahead and set this stuff to the side and get back to the knife. So again, really, actually really impressed with everything so far on it. I know I've seen them do, I believe, I think there's been a couple of different guys that have done kind of testing on the steel, the D2 steel with Sitivien, and if I remember correctly, it's been pretty spot on. So overall quality of the knife so far seems really great. This is first impressions video, so we'll see how it fares over time. But again, first impressions so far are great. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can zoom in a little bit and see if that helps us. There we go. So we've got some really nice kind of semi-polished micarta. Nice and milled out here, contoured. You got some traction spots there on the back. You do have a lanyard hole that is not too big, not too small. Open construction. Pillars and everything all look pretty well done. Stop pins all look good. So you do have a semi-deep carry pocket clip. It is not inset, and you do have, as B says, some mushrooms growing in the shade there. But there is still some room there to get some material through. But in my experience, that never really bothers me because I'm wearing, most of the time I'm wearing basketball shorts. But if you're, got a thicker pair of jeans on, you may get some bunching up right there. Super thick, heavy duty pocket clip. I mean, this has got a lot of mass to it and a lot of thickness to it. Good retention strength. You do have crossbar actuation, and the crossbar locks do not stick out very far. So that's one of the things we'll talk about here in just a minute. You do have some really cool looking thumb studs, kind of milled out there, and those are really placed well. You have plenty of access thanks to these cutouts. So you can see there you got really great access there. We'll go on down and we'll take a look at the centering. So it is pretty well centered. Looks like if anything it may just be barely going towards the show side. Nah, well, I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. I think it is pretty damn centered. And of course you have you do not have a blank pivot. So I'm assuming the side that you unscrew is the clip side. We'll test that out here in just a minute. It might be, I'm hoping it's a captured pivot and that you can take both sides off, because if it's a crossbar lock, being able to take both sides of the pivot off makes it really easy to clean and take care of the knife. So let's zoom back out and take a look at everything else on it. So action so far is pretty dang good. I mean, it just no bounce out, reverse flicks really easily. I really suck at reverse flicking with my middle finger on crossbar locks because my index finger always hits the lock, but I can still do it on this one because or most of the time, because these the lock tab does not stick out very far on either side of the scales. That does make it a little more difficult to get to, but the texturing that they have here, which, let me get it back to focus. There we go. So your texturing that you have there is really good. It really grabs the skin. So it's really easy to decompress that lock bar, and the lock bar strength is pretty good. Yeah, I put it up there with a lot of times what you get with Vosteed or with the Kaiser clutch lock when you put the clutch lock in on its hardest setting. Usually the clutch lock's set at kind of a medium to soft setting. So if you tighten those up all the way, you get kind of the same feel for the clutch lock, or for the crossbar lock. As typical with most, with all crossbar lock knives, the action can feel a little spongy when you're opening the knife, but this one's actually got a pretty decent ramp up, so you get a little bit of sponginess right there, but then it's like it almost hits the quote-unquote detent, and it makes it a little bit harder to open, so you can really fire that blade out there. The thumb stud action's great. Again, reverse flick, no issues there. Just sweet, real easy to throw out. Take a look at the blade. So you have kind of one of the things Sitivien is known for is they do have quite a bit of billboarding on their knives, which is, to me, it doesn't really bother me, but it does bother some people. So you've got the Sitivien logo there. And then on the reverse side, nice big, you have the Sitivian ST-110 and D2 steel. Go ahead and take a look at some specs on it. And so, spoiler alert, I've got something coming that's pretty epic for doing these first impression videos. So, blade length, cutting edge, you're looking at right at 3.5 inches. Total blade length is just a little more than that, right at 3 3/4. Total length, we're just a hair over 8 inches. Total length, 8 1/4, depending on where you want to be at. And I don't do exact measurements on this stuff, guys. I just you don't need to know down to the millimeter what the length is. So I mean, if you do, I guess I could give you that. So I mean, centimeters, you're looking at 20.5 centimeters. So that is that, and we'll get the weight here. It's actually fairly substantially weighted knife. It's not super light, not super heavy. It's almost it's honestly kind of right there in that Goldilocks range where it just feels just right. So we are looking at 3.9 ounces. So I was pretty spot on that. That's the kind of the Goldilocks. Our Goldilocks range is 1 ounce per inch of blade. And again, this is about a 3.5 inch cutting edge. So being just over 3.5 ounces, almost 4 ounces, is pretty spot on. Again, time will tell. Like I said, I think, gosh almighty, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's LTK Love Them Knives that does the blade testing, where he sends off all the knives to have them have the steel checked. And I believe he did the Sitivien D2 and said it was pretty good. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the sharpness out of the box. So just using a piece of computer paper. The first thing I'll do is I'll try to see where I can get the bite. So it bites right there, and look at that. Just barely biting onto the paper, and it just wants to make curlies. Okay, so this is a sharp knife. Let me see if I can get that in. Yeah, so So it's just barely wanting to bite into it, and it's making curlies. So it's going to be, it's push cutting that computer paper with ease. So I'm trying to test different spots on the blade. I think there might be a, no, because once you get into it, this is a damn sharp knife. You know, I can understand why a lot of people have had really good things to say about Sitivian knives. At least for initial impressions and everything. Again, I never assume how a knife's going to hold up, but so far I am really enjoying this. So we'll keep you guys updated. I want to try to do some like 6-month updates and things like that on these knives. I'll try to carry them as much as possible, and see how they hold up action wise. This one I did want to check one thing here. Let's see on the pivot. Let's see. First of all, we'll check, of course. We do have T6 pocket clip hardware. The hardware seems to be well made. There's not a lot of slop. Oh dang, I didn't even realize that. There's not a whole lot of hardware holding these scales on, so the scales are just held on with a couple of screws. You take the scales off, and then the main construction here, the barrel spacers, those screws are underneath. So this T6 hardware there, and then we have T8 there, and I'm going to see if we are. So it looks like we are. Oh no, there it goes. Now it's spinning. So we do not have a captured pivot, which is, again, it's not a huge deal. I'm wondering if it will let me, if it unscrews one side or if it's. So there is the one screw. Let's see if this one undoes as well. Okay, nope. So it looks like it is a solid pivot. So you have your screw, just like I thought, on the clip side. That is the actual screw portion. The other side is your pivot, the through portion. So we're going to tighten that right on back up. Get it tuned in again. I had it just a little too tight there. There we go. So I do have just the slightest bit of lock stick. You can hear that here. I don't know if that's coming through. We'll pull it right up next to the mic. Oh. Hit the stand. There we go. I think you could hear that. Outside of that, it does have some good thwack to it. But you only really get that lock stick when you really throw the blade out there. So I know that will probably wear in. That'll be part of the update. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for watching, taking the time out to watch here. It really does mean a lot to me. Leave a comment below. Let me know how everything's going. And if you don't watch anything between now and Christmas, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. We've got about a week to go here as I film this. So again, just everybody take care. As always, be kind, be humble, be EDC. Y'all take care.